sunshine. The sun shining, the sun shining, the boom, baby, boom, rise and shine. It's dipping behind the clouds now, but this morning it was rising and shining, and I'm shining every morning. I'm Mark Saint. This is Saint's Addiction. It's cold out here, but you can see the shirts. I make the hoodies. I made Weed Club, and yesterday I met up with my brother and did his logos on shirts, and what an experience to say the least. I'm going to tell you that comparison is the thief of joy. And come on, let us sign in again. You do not want to compare your life to someone else's. We've lived two separate lives, me and my brother, and our outcomes have been two separate outcomes. I am jealous as fuck, and I'm going to tell you why, and then you guys can tell me how you feel sometimes when you compare your life to someone else that's lived a whole different life than you have. Saints Addiction, let's go, leg out. Yeah, tough sport, bro. Watching the bro being super successful, multiple employees, all in house. He's being sarcastic with them because that's his style. Come on, I left my phone thing down below, but it'll do. And that's what it will be. It'll be what we make it. And I thought I had some raps here, but turns out I just faked it. Hold tight. Yeah, little loud ass cars and shit. Ah, it feels so good when the sun shines on us, and that's what the sun was doing yesterday. My mom had two sons that look very similar to each other. I'm the short and stocky one. Well, Jeremy's now stocky, and he used to be the tall and skinny one. It took him forever to break 100 pounds. He was just the worm, and we called him Worm, even though his employees didn't know his name was the Worm because we thought he had a tapeworm. He was so skinny. I'm eating, and it reflects on me. He could eat anything just like my dad, and it would just disappear. And in essence, he's the son that my dad wished he had, or he did have, but wish I was. And, no fuck ups, no getting him arrested because we have the same last name, no doing drugs, no addictions, no explorations. And, I had to have that conversation with myself that I didn't stay in the same city. I didn't stay at my father's house till I was 26 years old. I have been on my own since I was 16. I have been around the world 3 different times. And my accomplishments aren't his accomplishments, and his accomplishments are mine accomplishments. And that was competitive, to say the least, when I'm waking up at 44 years old on my mom's couch, and my brother owns his own home, and other people pay his rent, or his mortgage, I should say, and he's a self-made millionaire, and I'm sitting there going like, I don't pay taxes. I don't have any of my paperwork up on the wall. Matter of fact, because I didn't have my paperwork on the wall, that's what gave the police time to fuck with me. And yeah, my paperwork was on the wall. It's not that hard. It was just that I took it off to go to court to battle them, to prove that I had that paperwork. And it's just another laundry list of situations where I didn't have the same experience. I didn't have the same parents. I didn't have the same upbringing. Matter of fact, the other day, I finally got vindicated. And I'll tell you why. My father had me at the garage and was like, do you really think what you're doing in the history of histories is different than anywhere else in the world or something? Partying up like like a Roman, or, anyone else that's partied in the history of histories. He's like, did you really think you were doing something different? And my pessimistic father, I had to tell him, yes. Matter of fact, I do. I do think that I'm doing something different. I do think that this is radical, this new music, this house music that I was, obsessed about and had to be a part of and go to every party and be there. And that's what it was. And turns out I got vindicated because it turned out I got interviewed and I'm in the book. That's right. They're writing a book, maybe a Netflix series for the Club Utopia, the nightlife industry in Las Vegas in the late 95 to 2005. That episode before it turned into bottle service and what had happened to the nightclub industry. And what an industry it's been. And if I didn't live to be in this industry, they wouldn't be speaking to me. If I didn't have that experience, I can't go backwards. My brother, he's never done a drug in his life. So he wouldn't know what it's like to have the music hit and the fucking pill hit and the girl hit at the same time. And I was spending my time, spending my bread, spending my life in the club, learning people, shaking hands, man, you know? That's what ends up happening. And that's what it really came down to it. I was just like, you know, not for nothing. I'm with my sunglasses. Not for nothing. I have an experience. And that's what's worth more to me than anything. And that's why you can't call it the separate pockets. What time for me? Where is glasses? Give me these glasses. Give me my, what are these called when you're, give me my Unabomber look. Okay, they're not bombing anybody. It's just the look. It's just the aesthetic. But it was in my eyes, man. That started coming from the clouds and in my eyes. John Wee Club. So, you know, I get to go with my brother, who I never get to spend any time with. I don't talk to, I got 4 siblings, and he's the only one I talk to. So I cherish that moment very, very deep. And I started to realize that that was the thief. You know, the thief of the comparison was that I was trying to compare my life to someone else's the other day. I'm watching Justin Timberlake, and he's doing a speech. I've always wanted to be Justin Timberlake's penis, and everybody's like, what are you talking about, bro? That's so weird. And I'm like, bro, he slept with Alyssa Milano, Britney Spears. He's got my whole hit list. All the girls that I wanted to sleep with when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Growing up in the 90s, he got a hit. Cameron Diaz, married to Jessica Biel. But then there was a day where I didn't want to be like him. And it was the day he got busted with his DUI the other day. This fool's over here trying to pitch people, you know, don't drink and drive. And it was like, that's exactly what you just did. You know, here's somebody's hero. Here's somebody's, you know, Justin Timberlake, he's such a good guy, you know. And then there he is being flawed and human like the rest of us with his own addictions and shortcomings. You know, you have so much money. You could have ordered a fucking, saved yourself the embarrassment, ordered a fucking limo, and still made it through. And here we are. You still haven't learned what I learned, you know, 21 years ago when I had my first DUI. When I was a kid here, and they weren't just like, once you have a drink, it's before you have a drink, okay? Before you have a drink, you need to throw your keys to the fucking, to the bartender and be like, yep, I plan on getting fucked up, not after your first beer. Because this drug makes you forget. This drug, as soon as you have your first sip, you're inebriated already. You're not making good decisions. The people you sleep with, how long you're going to stay out that night, how much money you're going to spend, all that goes out the window because you want to feel free. You want to feel something. That's why you go to a bar. That's why we all go to a bar. You know, we needed to let loose the demons or release the pressure or whatever else you want to call it. I don't know, you call it what you want, but call it what you want. Desensitize yourself. But, you know, I had to sit there in my brother's office with my brother's employees and see the dream that he built and tell him how proud I am of him and that he helps these kids on the team. He's still a coach at the league in Boulder City, you know. He's never done any drugs. He's a self-made millionaire. He has money. But he doesn't smile as much as me. I'm the extrovert. I'm the one that's always taking pictures and happy and smiling. And to get him to smile, it won't be the money that he's making, you know, not even the accomplishments. My brother's just not a big smiler. And it just sucks, you know, that we both don't have kids and we both are, you know, busy. My mom's like, it's awkward, how weird you guys don't notice how similar you guys are. Jeremy being on his phone and handling some business, or me being on the phone with my AI team handling some business. And there we are, billionaire brothers handling it. I was saying, Jeremy, we could be like the Tate brothers, you know, that would be dope. And he was like, yeah, not interested. And that was it. That was his retirement plan. He built the business, went from valet to bartending to insurance, and just stayed the course, man. Paid all the bills, stacked all his money, never spent any of it. He travels a little bit, but, you know, I couldn't have been more jealous that I didn't have a business that was that successful, or I didn't have that many employees, or that we weren't both multi-millionaires, self-made millionaires already. I just thought that was the level. And then not for nothing, I turned around and told him, not for nothing, I watched a special, Jeremy, about Trump. And he's like, what? Yeah. And I was like, not for nothing, he was taught to be a killer. Ray Cohen, his father, diminishing his father when he came up, borrowing $400 million, or inheriting $400 million. Like, that's just, sure, everybody gets it, but that's not what everybody gets. Not everybody has a father that's the slumlord of New York. Not everybody has $400 million to start up with, and not everybody was raised to be a motherfucking killer, bro, where all it counts is just the production of life and getting shit done. No one gives a fuck about the details, bro. They just want it done, and that's what's tough about our lives. It's always something coming at us full speed, and we don't even see the trajectory of the ball that's spinning at our faces. Life is so unpredictable. And for me, I played it the other way. He's like, Mark, he asked me, Mark, why don't you take a year off, stack $100,000, and then come at the business? I said, Jeremy, I did that. And the cops came in and harassed me. And I'm not like you, you know what I mean? I took that 10 months off, had no shower, no money, put it all into a business only for it to fail. And a lot of people will be like, well, you're not a good business person. I'm telling you right now, that's what they're looking for. They want to know, why is the first failure, and this is why, it's such a thief of joy, because you're comparing yourself to maybe like 3 other people. Yeah, it's kind of like being in a relationship, like my ex trying to compare me to her ex, right? You don't want to be compared to someone else. You're the person that's in front of them getting the job right now. What a thief of joy, to say, oh, my ex would have never done that. Daniel never did that. And it's just like, who the fuck is that guy? I'm in the middle of the ocean with you right now. I don't even know who you're fucking talking about. All I know is right now, me and you, the situation that's at hand, me and my brother had separate lives. Separate outcomes. His money is his own. His wife is his own. And to look back and see the difference in the steps, it was shocking to me. The kid that never fucking did anything, not a drug, not a nothing, with his older brother that was throwing fucking parties in high school, in the house, getting in trouble. I was pushing every boundary, bro, and I still do. And that's what I told my brother. My life is not like yours. I went around the world and multiple times. And I don't know if Jeremy could have handled it. He travels a little bit, but I don't know if he could have handled staying away, learning the language, living with the people, going from tourist to traveler. That's what a traveler does. I Marco Polo'd it. I went around the world and lived there and stayed there amongst the people in Turkey, Thailand, China, South Korea. You name it. Let's get this something to light this blunt. Yeah, baby. Rise and shine. Say it's addiction time. It's just that. You really have to calculate it. Saturday morning, I'm up early, and I was just like, wow. Part of me was so proud of my brother, and part of me was so jealous of my brother. At the same time, I've always been jealous of my brother. He always got all the toys in Christmas. He's taller than me, skinnier than me, and more successful than me, and that hurt, because I'm supposed to be the older brother, and there I was, the black sheep that got our dad arrested because of a ticket I had and having the same last name. And there's Jeremy taking him to the fucking hospital or spending time or checking out his business. It's my dad. But just like that, I don't know, my dad's just always divided and conquered. Let me show you praise and not show the other son praise, or be even with the praise. Or maybe I'm chasing the wrong praise. Maybe I'm trying to make my dad proud of me, and the whole time he's proud of Jeremy. We're all chasing something that's not bringing us great joy, and I promise you, I'm not alone in it. Not for nothing, we do a lot of actions for our parents, like just to get the attention of my father. I've jumped off of the high dive and went, wow, turned my whole stomach green, I'll never forget. And he jumped in. My dad was my own lifeguard. It's about the only when my life was in threat that my dad showed me love. Like my foot getting run over by a car. He was trying to lift the tire up. My mom was driving the car, actually. My skinny dad tries super lifting the fucking car off of my foot. He's not even 150 pounds, whatever he is. And that's when I knew my dad loved me. It wasn't that he was just like coming in and show me that he loved me, or as much as Jeremy, or the same kind of presence. It's my present that I give to myself, that I'm still alive, that I'm not on drugs, that I don't, I might not have the relationship that I want with my family, but I did get to have lunch with my brother, and it was civil, and it was fun, and it was interesting, and I needed that time with him, to travel the world. Yep. I traveled the world, man, and I never get to spend time with my family and to see them and how they spent their time and how they've done with their lives. It was just a full-on trip, so I'm grateful. Every morning that I get, or every sunrise that I get to see, or any time I get to spend with my brother, it was just amazing, because I get a feeling like no other with him. Like, me and him are the same dog in the same kennel, chewing out of the same bowl for forever. Can't even help it. Our hair's the same. He's getting grayer for real though, but like the way our hair lays and the mole and the whole thing was right there, bro. And full on trip, man. Full on trip. And what a life to have lived, So don't be so competitive. Don't live in comparisons. Your joy is someone else's misery, and maybe you're making someone miserable. Some people live off of toxic jealousy all the time. As long as I'm making someone else jealous and they don't know how happy I am then, or how bad I got it, they're just jealous of my body. They don't know that I'm in pain from my lips and my hips and the surgery. Most people don't want to know, but I want to know. I want to know what my life looked like on the other side, the black sheep of the world, to do things at my own pace, be an entrepreneur, not be a stooge and show up every day to work and be the same motherfucker every day, showing up to the same city, same place. I couldn't do it. That 10 months was like a cage. 10 months in my own prison cell that I put myself into. And I was like, okay, for the next 10 months from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., I'm going to watch this shop, and I'm going to be the only one in here putting in the energy. Fuck all that, bro. It was just such a fucking nightmare, man. I got to tell you that I didn't have showers, and that I had the cops busting in on me and all these things, bro. It all adds up to something called an experience, And that's what I wanted out of my life. I wanted to experience my life. I didn't want to sit there looking at it and talking about it. I get to talk about something I actually seen with my own eyes. I don't know what you're doing, dumb bitch. You just got in your car. Come on. And what an experience, bro. Now, no one else can be me at Machu Picchu, coming over the cliffs and coming down upon the city. No one else gets to be me, being on Good Morning America, smoking weed. No one else gets to be me, being a VIP host at Club Utopia in 1993. No, just joking. I had to make that rhyme, but it's not 93. It's on 98. About 98, right around in there. And what a day to be alive when the Bulls were winning their 6th championship, and I was high school. I knew this was a time. I mean, everything was popping. Hip hop was popping. The videos were popping. The internet was popping. Like just this whole vibe, and everybody was making money. Microsoft was going off the roof, bro, and so was MySpace, and all these things were just about to take on. We were taking on the 21st century. Now I have my own AI team, and we're literally working on a pitch deck for multi-millions of dollars, and the people way smarter than me working with me around the world right now as I speak. That's not a joke. And I'm the CEO. I got fired from my first job, being my brothers and sisters' leader. I was abusive, ruthless, just have to get shit done. To this day, it's still my memory, my regret, and also my rhythm. Me and Jeremy are talking. It's like not many people have the aptitude and attitude and altitude that we reach, because we were born killers. Fucking killer, bro. I wasn't raised to have no emotions. Are you fucking serious? I was raised to get touchdowns. Bink. That's it. No excuses. Go back out there. Not a pat on the back. Not a what do they call that? A participation award? No, sir, no, ma'am. That's not how we operate. St. Arnaud's best of the best, head of the rest, and there was the St. Arnaud name on the side of an Allstate building in a strip mall that I drive by all the time. I didn't know that was my brother's insurance company. It had its full fucking name from birth on the side of the building. What an amazing experience. Theodore Jeremy St. Arnaud. It's public information. And there he was, tall, multimillionaire, employees, his own shop, his own car parked out front. What a badass. $3,000 a month, looking for 30 grand a month, making the American dream come true, and my family worked for it. Our parents were only, a waitress and a fucking carpenter. And that's what we came from. We came from that. And then my sister goes off to be a copywriter for fucking REI and all these big companies, lives in New York. She's kind of a big deal. I'm sure she was making over 6 figures a year. Graduated from college too. It's impressive. Natasha too. Natasha's a beast. She ain't no slow boat, bro. She'll buy her fucking your head off and her kids' heads off. She's a motherfucking crocodile. She carry her fucking kids in her teeth. You know what I mean? And there's women out there like that too. Fucking stone cold killers, all of us. But pretty much all of us emotionalists. So you want your kid to be Donald Trump, and then he grows up, suffocates you, blows all the money. Maybe he triples up on what you did. That's what they wanted. You know, they don't want to hug their kid at the end. That's not my father's going to do. He just wants us all to be fucking super successful. That's his way. Not that we have a relationship. Not that he supports me. Not that I spend time with my father. No. That's what I covet. I covet the experience. I covet the time spent, you know, and I feel like there's a bunch of time wasted between me and my father, and that's just what's going to be. All he cares is that I'm successful and I've made it. You know, and that's it, and the rest of us have too. So as the black sheep and leader of this group, all of them have lapped me. I mean, I thought I was out in the lead. I'm the oldest. I graduated college first. I've been around the world. What you got? Let me see you build businesses, right? It turns out they did. My sister's running businesses. My little sister's running businesses. My other sister was working with her, and then the other one, Jeremy, started his own. Just said, fuck it. Sold the house, 100 grand, started a business, and here I am. What a blessing. I couldn't be more jealous. I want it too, you know? I want to be loved by my father. I want to have employees. I want to be a multimillionaire. Instead, I have experiences. I had to have that conversation with myself. That these were experiences that I was going to get in my life that Jeremy might not get in his life, and Natasha or Carrie. You know, all of us are just Mark, Natasha, Jeremy, Carrie, a team of killers, but solo artists. You know what I mean? Like, eventually the Jackson 5 had to become Michael Jackson, and eventually NSYNC have to be Justin Timberlake, and I'm sure that one of the team members is jealous of the other. What's other homeboy after JT tried to come up with the one that actually can sing on NSYNC? What's his name? Joey? No one remembers, right? And he was the actual voice, but he wasn't the face. He wasn't the talent. He wasn't the moves. And here we are. It's all about smooth moves. Movidas, you know? And you never know what your life will bring. And there we were, 40 years old, 44, 42, standing there looking at our lives like this is what we do. And for the most part, I'm grateful because I went just straight to work. Me and Jeremy worked together, just boop, 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 heads down, just get shit done. People are talking, yeah. And we're very similar to that. The work ethic that we got from my father, you know, the killer drive. You already got a leg up in this world, being in America, being an American citizen in the biggest country, strongest country, with the most opportunity, and he didn't want us to squander it. We had to have a job and go to school, or sport and go to school. It wasn't like you just did one thing. You got to do a lot. I think I'm gonna do a show called To Impress a Narcissist. You know, that's what it's like. that kind of drive. That's why I date narcissistic women, or started to. I don't anymore, but that was my drive. That mediocre wasn't good enough. Like my mom would say, she loved the drive too. She wanted the good looking man, the good looking family, and she got it. Now, did it stay together? No. Not all dreams are as you want it to be. You can be Marco Polo, or wait, you can be Captain Cook and travel the world and be an all-star, but you will get stabbed at the end of your story on the fucking coast of Hawaii. It's like that. You could be General Murat and do cavalry charges one after the other, great cavalry charges, and then Napoleon doesn't want to see you anymore and you get shot by firing squad. Everybody. Rope St. Pierre. And who's that, Mark? Yeah, the guy that started the fucking French Revolution. Speaking at the pulpit, getting everybody almost Hitler excited, right? They chopped his head off with the same guillotine he killed everybody else with. Be careful. I mean, we all shine. And we all shine on. From the moon, from the stars, and the sun. But we all shine on and on and on and on. But you didn't find the failures. That's what people aren't looking. That's what the investors are looking for. I promise you that. As we build our white sheet and our pitch deck and a proposal for investors, they want to know, can you get back up? They want to know, did you go work out in the off season after the losing season? They want to know what it's like on the other side of that glow. Everybody wants the glow up. You know what I mean? Everybody's trying to come on the glow up. I'm telling you right now. They all want it to shine on and nothing being wrong and everything being perfect and not a hair out of place. I'm telling you, start now. We're all a mess. Each one of us has a mess and a stress and something that has bereaved us or befallen us, and that's just what it is. This is the life story. This is my life story. I know my brother's life story, and or most of it. I don't know all of it, but everybody went in their own separate direction, and everyone else came up with their own results. And we can share some of the same genetics, but we don't get to share some of the same results or experiences. And that's what just dawned on me, that you can't be comparing your life to other people. You simply cannot. You aren't in the same race. It's not the same race. Even our race isn't the same race. When they ask those kids, line up, we're gonna go for a sprint. It was a life sprint, and that's what ends up happening. You go into it, right? And they go, okay, everybody line up here and take 5 yards forward if you've never had your phone bill off. Some kids couldn't. That your parents are still together. Some kids couldn't, right? That you have over $1,000 in your savings account. Some kids couldn't. And you see the race of life. Not that it was going to be boy versus girl, black versus white, rich versus poor. It was neither. It's this race called life that some of us get to leave at 16 and some of us get to stay till 26. I can't be jealous of that. That 10 years of my life went into the nightclubs and the industries, and I'm grateful for it. College, all of it. I can't undo it. And and it won't ever happen. And I refuse to, right? Like, it's just what it is. I'm grateful that we both made it. And I think that's all that our parents or any parent would ever want for their children, is to make it out. Make it out of the situation, make it out of the standard, do better than what they were doing, right? You know what I'm saying? And give them a leg up, an opportunity to have a better life than they lived. And that's the truth of it. I think it makes my dad spin in his grave, soon to be grave, that I made it around the world and he never traveled, and that these people play separate but not equal, and none of that fucking energy turns out to be who I truly am, the shine that I truly give, and the credence to the work that I've done. So, you can bring on your emergencies, you can bring on your noise, you can let the world try to distract you. Don't let your comparison be the thief of your joy. Don't compare your life to someone else. There's always someone going through something that you can't see, a whole battle and stream, and I promise you, you don't want that smoke. You don't want any of that energy. You want your energy to be the energy and make sure that things happen for you when they need to happen. Making opportunity instead of it like magically happen. No, this is life by design. This is designed by saints, and this is Saints Addiction. Peace and love. And as always, Chi-Gatan. That means goodbye, but not forever, and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. The other side of your fear. The other side of your excuses and the other side of the world, and that's where these saints will be. Peace.